In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to rig and animate models, not characters like you see me. I'm not going to teach you how to animate this since that's simple. So to begin the whole modeling process, we have to make sure that everything is actually in a group, because if it's not modeled in a group, then it's not going to work. So we are just going to press Ctrl G or Command G if you are on Mac. That brings everything into one group. And what we're going to do now is unanchor everything because it should not be anchored. Otherwise, the model itself will not animate correctly. So now once you have everything anchored into a group, I'm just going to name this. I'm just going to name mine crossbow. Just like this. And we're going to insert a humanoid. Now once you inserted your humanoid into the model, you're just going to go into each part and you're going to just give them all a unique name. Okay, and just like that, you can see that I have successfully given all of these pieces their own unique name, because it's important. Usually the name of all your pieces are going to be part, since when you're building you don't really pay attention to the name, but when you're animating you want to make sure that the names are all unique so that the animation works correctly. So now that you're done with that, you just want to bring it over and you want to create a new part, and this part is going to be your humanoid root part, and this is the part that controls the hitbox of your rig. So what we're going to do is create a box the size of the bow, and we're just going to bring it into the model like this. So now you must be saying, like, this doesn't really look like what we want, and it just kind of doesn't look like the animation. So yeah, we're going to select this part and we're going to make it invisible. So this serves as the hitbox of the model, and this is required for all rigs in Roblox Studio. You're going to rename it to humanoid root part. You're going to spell it exactly like I do. You're going to make sure that the H, R, and P are all capitalized and everything else is lowercase. And you're just going to drag it into your crossbow or your model. Lastly, this is the most important step. You're going to take one of the pieces and you're just going to rename it to head, because all rigs need a head part. So I'm just going to Alt left click to individually select one of the pieces in here, and this one is shaft. I'm going to rename this to head. And just a quick tip, if you don't see this text, guys, make sure you just remove your humanoid and add it back into it so it resets, and you should see a name above the bow or your model. So now that's all set up, we're going to now use this plugin called Rig Editor, and if you don't have this plugin, it's going to be in the description. And pay attention now, because this is when it gets trickier and becomes harder to understand. So we're just going to put Rig Editor on the bottom right here just to make it easy for you guys to see, and also it's not a very important screen. We do most of the work ourselves. So now you're going to click on a valid rig to modify, and this rig, we'll click on it and it should work. There we go. So now everything went invisible, and now it's asking us to select a part to become the base part. Okay, now that we are in the Rig Editor menu, we're going to start rigging our model. And if you're brand new to this, just do what I do and pay attention closely. So for my model, we have this little shaft thingy right here. I don't know what you would call this, but essentially this is going to be the part that kind of controls the upper half of the model. So what we are going to do is make this the base part, this gray part right here. We're going to make this the base part so that when this rotates, it rotates the upper half. So we're going to click humanoid root part, and we're just going to go inside this hitbox so that we can kind of click, it doesn't get in the way. But we're going to just click, first of all, we actually have to click the humanoid root part, which is this big hitbox that we made. Just going to click that, and it's going to ask you to select another part to create the joint, and we're just going to make it right here. So now if you see closely, it made kind of a little beam that shows the skeleton of your model, and essentially now you just want to connect all parts of it. So what I'm going to do is just click this shaft right here and connect it to the right there. And we're going to click the shaft again and connect it to the left. follow my mouse. Do the same thing for the front up here, and you can see that now it is creating kind of a skeletal structure. And we're going to do the same thing for the top right here. So now this shaft controls the movement of all of these, and we can actually do the same thing for the string right here that we made for the crossbow. So I'm going to click on this, and we're going to click right on this string as well. So now that controls the movement for all of that. And you can chain it as long as you want. And what I mean by that is right here, this arrow part we made, we can actually segment this into a longer structure. So I'll show you what I mean. So we already clicked this and made the wood of the arrow part of the rig. So we click this base, we made it here. As you can see, it's connected. But if you want to connect this part, this sharp part of the arrow to this wood, it's basically the same thing. We just click here and here. So now if you look closely, you can see that there is a line that draws from the tip, the wood, to the base. And then this base is connected to the humanoid root part, which is our hitbox. So the upper half is completed. So we made the top part, and we can do the same thing for the lower part, for the part that we don't want to rotate. Because if we made this top part segmented with this lower part, it will rotate the top part and the bottom part together, which we don't want. So we're going to click on the humanoid root part again, and we're going to click on the part we want to become sort of the base of the lower half. And I'm thinking this plate right here on the bottom. So this will be like the base of the lower half of the crossbow. So we're going to click here, and then you're just going to do the same thing as we did before. So we're going to click here, connect it to this part, and connect this part to this part, and then we're going to connect this top part to this arm up here that connects to the top. And now everything is done, everything is fully rigged, and you can click out of your rig editor by just clicking the plugin. So if you go to your avatar on the top and click animation editor, you can click this and it will open up the menu for the animation editor. So I will try to explain this as best and easy as possible. We could just click on here, and if you click on your rig, it should fully load. And if there's any errors, you're most likely going to see that it's anchored. Like we said in the beginning, make sure you just unanchor your model and that it's working properly. So now that you have it imported, you can now start animating your rig. So we can just press this little plus button and we can press add all body. So now I want to explain to you guys what we just did and how you can tell it worked. As you can see in this hierarchy over here, you can see that the base low is what we made to be the top, or the base of the lower part is right here at the top, and head is the shaft, which is the base of the upper part. So pay attention. If we rotate the top part, it'll only rotate the top part that we rigged. Now let's set this up now. Let's make it rotate down and then rotate up. So what we do is we go to the head piece. This is the part where we want to, this is the upper part. Press add a keyframe, and we can just scroll down to the 1 second mark, and we can make it go down just like that. Very, very nice. And if you want something a little cooler, we can do the same thing over here. We can do this, and we can make this whole head segment flash backwards like this, and just like that, boom. Now when you're all done with your animation, all you have to do now is press the 3 dots right here and press publish to Roblox. We can just name it to anything that we want. I'm going to name mine crossbow. We can save and export it, and now it's able to use under the animation ID, which you can put into a script into the model, and you can animate it. You can call the animation via the script. One last side note is that you can also make your humanoid root part can collide off in the properties tab. You can turn that off so that you don't float or touch the root part with your character. This was my first ever video on this channel, so if you guys ended up liking this video, please subscribe, like, and comment, and we're going to try to do some more tutorial videos in the future. If you are interested, you can join my Discord server for my upcoming game coming out soon. It's in the link in description, and if you want this model, I will leave it in the description as well as the animation inside of the model as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.